How's it going, everybody? Welcome to the channel. Today I have a guest who is a player I've been working with for quite a while now. He is a player I'm very close with and I enjoy a lot. I'm very excited for this interview. He brings a very unique aspect to what I do and has a great story. This, everybody, is Aiden Peterman.
I'm Aiden Peterman. I'm in 2026 and I go to Willow Canyon High School.
Yeah, Aiden. So he is in Phoenix, Arizona. He has worked with me, like I said, for right at that 6 months in total training time, and we have gotten after it. This kid is an absolute grinder. He deserves all the recognition and praise that we're going to be talking about today. And Aiden, just kind of give us a little bit more about you, as far as, you said your graduation class, you're a junior right now, but a little bit about your journey.
I started this program right after I transferred to Willow Canyon. Wasn't working out at Shadow, wasn't going to get a shot. I transferred to Willow, greatest decision I ever made, started working with you, and I have seen extreme amounts of improvement. Just from my faith to on the field, it's just been all around improvement.
That's awesome, man. No, I appreciate that. I can't take credit for any of this. Today is about him and honestly how God has just led him to me and hopefully how I have just been able to steward that and help him get the results he wanted. So we're going to dive into this interview. Again, this one's going to be a little bit more unique and different. First off, we're going to start with where Aiden was before we started working together. Aiden, where would you say you were as a catcher? In your career, I know you said you were at a different high school for the first 2 years of high school and you were transferring to a new school, but where were you before we started working together?
I was a solid player. I wasn't horrible. My skills, I definitely had the talent, had a solid skill set. Obviously, not what I have now. I was on JV because I transferred, but I was just kind of hanging on there a little bit. Still being a leader, just hanging on a little bit.
That's the case for many, especially in that, first couple years of high school, you're just hoping to get playing time, things like that. Let's dive into what specifically did you need to work on in your catching skills and your leadership stuff? Like what comes to mind before we were working together that you really struggled with?
Definitely need to improve my receiving. Very choppy. There's no flow to it. It was just bouncing, it wasn't clean. It wasn't smooth. I was always a brick wall, just not the way I want it to be. I felt like there was always something more I could be doing. There was always something better that I could improve on. There's always something in the back of my mind that I knew I needed to do. Blocking, receiving, throwing, all the aspects of being a catcher is what I felt like I needed to work on. I wanted to be an all-around elite catcher.
What would you say, as far as your confidence level and where that was and just kind of your leadership still before we started working together?
I wasn't very confident at all before started working. I just kind of went through the motions. I worked hard, was being a leader, pushed my teammates, but at the end of the day, it was kind of just going through the motions because for a little bit, I thought I was doing what I thought was enough. And then when I transferred and realized that I could actually do something with baseball, I realized that what I was doing was nowhere near enough to what I needed to be doing to achieve what I wanted.
Gotcha. Yeah. First off, thank you so much for admitting that. Like, I know that's not easy to admit. I believe, especially at your age, it's like cool to be like, I'm super confident, all that, no matter what. But dude, there's a lot of us that are struggling with, mental stuff in the game and just finding your identity as a player, things of that nature. So thank you for going there and, being very honest about where you were before. I think it's easy for you to do now because of the transformation you made. But let's talk about the adjustments you made. What adjustments did you feel you and I were able to make that have gotten you to where you are now?
One of the most helpful adjustments was my pregame routine, making sure that I wasn't going in there cold, because that's something I wasn't very good with, and that's what led to a injury my sophomore year. It was a main reason of what led to that injury, and that pregame routine, that pre-practice, pregame, pre-workout routine has helped my body feel not as sore after workouts, any workout in general. That's helped me feel better on the field, which in turn has helped my confidence and helped me just focus on my work instead of what hurts.
100%. 100%. Yeah. And one of the beautiful things we did was create that pre-game routine from like, custom things that you need, but also just from stuff in the program that really helped you a lot. So to dive even further about some of the adjustments that you made specifically in the program and working with me, what do you think in the day to day and each month was able to help you?
Everyday drills were a big component. Working every day definitely helped with my confidence because I knew I was doing something every single day. The evaluations that I would send after I was done with the workouts and getting the feedback really helped me see what I was doing wrong and helped me fix what I needed to fix, which in turn helped my success on the field.
Yeah, no, I mean, I saw that from my coach's perspective as well. And you were someone who definitely ran with kind of the plan of attack we had and followed it very well. So that's why you were able to get the results you did. So now let's talk about those results, man. What were the results you achieved inside the program, just for you specifically compared to what we talk about before that you struggled with and now where you are?
So my receiving now compared to where it was, it's a lot more smoother. Obviously, there's work to be done in all the aspects, but my receiving video now from before is just it's night and day. It looks so much better. I'm confident. I'm not worrying about when I need to bring my glove up to stick the ball. I'm just trusting my work and what I've done. Throws, so much more accuracy, and I've gotten faster. I got it down from a 2.1 to a 1.89. Gonna work to get that down even lower.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, the numbers by each category are there. And what would you say the results for you as, a leader and your mentality
My
were?
confidence definitely went up. It helped me be a better leader. Helped showed my teammates that I actually put in the work because most of them saw where I was, and now they see where I am now, and and I think they see the work that I've put in. At least some of them do, but that just helped. That helped me feel better about myself to see that my teammates saw it, that I was actually somebody they could listen to because of the results and the work I put in.
Oh, for sure, man. I mean, also like from my perspective, just showing you you sending me your in-game videos and like you hosing a guy and just like kind of getting cocky with it. I loved it. Absolutely loved it. But so you just feel like, your blocking, throwing and receiving are transformed along with, just your mentality.
Yes, 100%. My blocking, I don't remember last time I had a pass ball. I'm not worried about anything. I'm not worried about anything happening. It's like I'm watching somebody else play instead of being anxious and thinking about everything.
That's amazing, man. So you can literally change directly how you enjoy each game, I bet. So before like being anxious, unconfident, now you can like just put those tools
100%.
on display. I love that, man. I love that. That is huge. Praise God for that. Being able to have confidence and taking away anxiety, in a game that's like a children's game. This game it's a kid's game and we play it as adults and young adults, but it shouldn't be as stressful as we make it. So that's amazing, man. I think that is going to give so many other kids confidence, especially someone who's watching this, who's like, might have a rough go in high school. Like, dude, you literally had to transfer schools halfway through. That is not easy. And now you're going to go to your coach with these new skills going into spring and be like, I'm exactly who I say I am. So that is great, Aiden. Let's go into more of what it's like inside the program. I think we can dive more into that as far as like, what does it look like? How does a program work? Working with me and just in your own words, kind of all that type of stuff.
Every day you got drills and it's catered to you specifically. A custom program to what you need to work on every single day. The evaluations that you send after you're done, the difference between in-person coaching and the remote coaching. When we first started, I thought this was going to be a bust. I did not think that remote coaching, not working with anybody, was going to work. A week in, my mind was changed because even a week in, I saw results from just everyday stuff. And an hour a week compared to 30 minutes every day is nothing. It's there's no comparison. It's just so much better.
I love that. No, I appreciate that. And dude, you have the right to be skeptical. This stuff is new, but like my job is to literally give you the results that I believe you deserve after you make that investment. So that's amazing. I think a lot of kids don't even understand exactly how it goes. So I'll just say, like, I have 4 pillars within my program. The first is like your daily custom plan that Aiden talked about. The second is going to be that evaluation, where I use on another video processing software. And then the third one is like the community aspect I like to incorporate to that. So you have access to other guys if you ever need it, kind of chat. And then the last one is going to be our group calls. This is where I like to go over anything, where it could be faith, it could be situational, it could be mental leadership. So those kind of 4 things. And do you think, Aiden, after seeing that for yourself, that those were all
Yes, I
very
did.
effective for you?
Especially coming from somebody who's a very hands-on person. I mean, I still enjoy in-person coaching uh, at practice. It is what it is, but still.
That's awesome. That's awesome. I want to go into, asking you a few kind of funny questions, but who do you think this program is for and who would get the best results? Like, what kind of catcher?
Anybody who loves baseball, anybody who wants to be a catcher, who loves the game, wants to do something with it, who wants to go far, who wants it. That's it, just who wants it.
I love that. Now, who's this program not for?
You can't be lazy. Unmotivated, unlazy, and even being unmotivated, it's not, you can't, even I'm unmotivated some days. This program's about, it helps you be disciplined, not just with your workouts every day, but it translates to life.
I mean, dude, you may be unmotivated most days, but you still get your drills in and send me video. So like, it doesn't matter. You've unlocked this power of you still go to a mindset of like, I got to get it done, and that's awesome. So that's going to last you way further than anything else probably that you could learn physically, mentally. But would you recommend this program to somebody else if there was another catcher out there who is in your exact shoes or even further along than
Yes,
you?
I would. Right with it down, I would.
That's awesome, man. Let's shift into the remote training aspect and kind of your background in it. What beliefs did you have about online training before I worked with you? I know earlier you said you thought it was going to be a bust, but kind of dive into that a little bit about any limiting beliefs or hesitations.
I knew it was going to be something that would probably help me. I just didn't think it would help me all that much and get me to where I am.
Yeah, I totally understand that. I think that's the case for many where they're just like, I think it can help, but I don't know exactly how much it can help. And you are right. You need to find something that is going to help a lot. And especially if you're going to make a investment in your career, a drill on Instagram could theoretically help, but is it actually going to last and help you a lot? Most likely no. So that's awesome that you kind of were able to be in that mindset before and have it shift and understand the value. What would you say to somebody on the fence right now about remote training, about the program?
First off, I would say that they got to pray about it a little bit more. Tell them to think about it. Think about what you really want. Look in the mirror, see what you really want. And if you don't want to work out every single day, this program probably isn't for you. I mean, sometimes I don't get my workouts in every day, but it's usually because of practice. And if I don't get it in that day, I get it in the next day. I always, you always get your workouts done. That's the bottom line.
100%. I mean, dude, there's 3 of the biggest issues that I get or kind of objections. And one of them is quality. Like, does this really work? Is this real? You've obviously talked about how much you enjoyed this, so you can agree with the quality of the program, how it works, how it's set up. The second one is time. A lot of players are like, do I have time for this? Can I make this happen? From someone who has a very busy schedule, did this through club ball, did this through spring season a little and all throughout the summer. What would you say to someone who's concerned about time?
You have time. Whenever you're sitting down, you have time. I come home from school. I get out of school at 2:15. I get home at 2:30, and our practices are at 5. I work out for an hour. I leave at 3:45 so I can warm up. And I'm there with plenty of time before practice. I go to practice, I come home, and I go to bed. You have time. Between school and practice, you have time. You have time.
No, that's great. That is great. What would you say now about the third objection I get the most, which is like, the price or the investment? Not to go into specific numbers or anything, but like after you investing and seeing what you got.
First off, I want to thank my parents for help for investing. It's probably the greatest thing they've ever invested in, aside from other more important things. It is an investment, and if you're going to invest in it, you have to want it. And I know I keep circling back to that, but that's just genuinely how it has to be. It's fantastic. It's worth every penny.
And I really appreciate that. Just real quick, I wanted you to kind of go into remote training versus in-person training from someone who I think you said before you've done a few lessons here and there, but nothing anything too consistent. But how would you compare those two after someone who's done a little bit of
It's crazy.
both?
I still prefer in-person training because I want to be hands-on. Like I always want to have somebody there. Specific drills catered to you is a lot better than just an hour a week. Doing it 30 minutes every day versus an hour a week. That hour every single week will only get you so far. That 30, 45 minutes every single day will it's going to help you so much longer.
For sure. And I tell this to players all the time who are on the fence. I'm like, look, if you can find an in person coach who's willing to work with you every day, go 100%, go do it. He's probably going to charge you an actual arm and a leg. But if you can, when I was playing, I'd probably prefer that as well. Now, that's probably never going to happen for anyone, especially a solid coach. So with kind of like what I have is showing them, hey, I have the answer to your problem. Do you really care if I, knock on your door and deliver it in person or if I give you the information on the phone? And I think that's the exact plan of attack we took.
Yes, I would agree.
No, that's great. Well, let's talk about kind of your recruiting journey. You're gearing up to have a big spring season, junior year, with all these tools. You're hoping to be the starter, get the playing time back there, and let's kind of talk about some of the spotlight you've been getting from college buzz.
Just starting the recruiting process, ready to get off the ground. Just got to fix a few small things before I get it going. Already got a few interests from a few other colleges, and it's probably the greatest feeling I've ever had, especially with the results from this program that has helped me get here.
It's just like you were here struggling mentally. Man, this was only last spring. And when you came to me, didn't know what to do. You had a crazy work ethic back then, but you didn't know who would guide you. And now you're literally like, it's like talking to a different kid, man. Like I've just seen your confidence grow as we've gone along as well. And you're like confident and even just that healthy cockiness I love to see. And dude, you're getting an offer and that's awesome. And I just think it's so important to see where you are now and where you were before. So, we can praise God and say, thank you. Thank you so much for answering those prayers that we had, but also just to know who you are. And that's going to give you more confidence going forward. So, just so you can be aware. And I absolutely love that. Aiden, I just wanted to ask you, is there any last words that you want to share publicly about your experience in the program or anything we haven't covered yet? Anything on your heart you feel like you kind of wanted to get out there?
If you're going to be in this program, you got to want it. It's about discipline, not motivation.
I can write you the best program, give you all the best tools, but if you're not going to respond to me, yeah, you're not going to see the results.
100%.
What have your parents thought about the program too? Especially, I know before your mom was like, "Hey, we'll see if this works. We're going to invest, but I really hope it does." And then from seeing your results now, what's kind of your parents' thoughts on this transformation you've made and everything within the program?
It kind of goes outside the program. They're happy to see the change I've made off the field as well that this program has provided to help me with. And seeing my results in game has made them very happy to see me succeed and be happy on the field again.
And that's what it's all about. I mean, again, we want to get good. We want to be confident, have those physical tools, but that's what it's all about. So honestly, Aiden, if you have nothing left to say, I believe that's all the information I wanted to get out of you and ask you. I really appreciate your time. I really appreciate who you are and your character. I've learned a lot from you as well as a coach. I kind of say this in a lot of my interviews at the end because each player I work with, I learn a lot. Dude, you showed me what discipline truly looks like, especially for someone your age. And it gives me motivation as a coach because I know you're going to text me and say, "Hey, what am I doing today?" Or like, "I want more," or "Here's my video for eval." And it helped me be more consistent as a coach. Like, this kid wants it. So dude, you absolutely showed me a lot. And man, I am just so excited for the blessing and your journey you have going forward. Everybody, that was Aiden Peterman, an absolute grinder, someone I hold dear to my heart as a coach because, dude, I want to see all the success for you. So Aiden, genuinely, thank you for your time. Thank you for all the work you put in.
Thank you for your time.
you guys heard it from Aiden. This was an awesome interview for me to do. This one was a long time coming, and he's going to have even crazier results. So we might have to do another one. But if anyone is interested in what I do, taking the next step as far as finding out how this can work for yourself, I'm going to put my booking link below. I'm going to put it in the description of this video. If you need to find me or want to find more info, my YouTube here is Backstop Built. I have a Facebook page at Backstop Built, and then my Instagram, which is where I do most of my, marketing and my videos, that is also Backstop Built. I will put my booking link below, like I said, so you can schedule that call. The calls are huge. That's where we're going to go over exactly what things look like. I'm going to see if you're a great fit for the program and how I plan on helping you achieve your dreams, just like Aiden here today started off unconfident and not knowing his next steps to, he is now going to get that starting spot and is getting, college looks, which is absolutely huge, all by transforming his catching skills. So Aiden, God bless you, man. I love you, bro. And thank you for your time. Till next time, peace.